This is Sport Night Amplified with Andile, powered by SABC Sport. Exclusive to Metro FM. Game over.
Leruma Thobejane will be coming on, Royal AM lawyer. We've spoken to him time and time again about what's happened with the Ncube matter, where it is now. We do know that the Court of Arbitration of Sports has come out now and said, no, we are ruling against this. What does this mean for Royal AM? Are they paying the money and putting this whole thing behind them? Are they continuing to fight? And we do know Royal AM have a bite in them. They have a sting in them. They will fight to the death. We've seen it before. We've seen them take on bigger institutions before. So I'd love to know what this means, because now you've got players that you've signed. I know, we saw with King, the goalkeeper. He's signed. He's got a 2-year contract. He needs to play, but he needs to register with the PSL. And the PSL, of course, is still under mandate to say Royal AM can't sign any players. Plus, I'll let you know how it is that you can win yourself hampers as well as tickets to the Netball World Cup. All of this coming up in the next hour. It's Sports Night Amplified. It's 14 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. Do remember that we spoke to a senior manager out at Telkom about how we can get involved and how you could win yourself some awesomeness with the Telkom supporting, of course, the Proteas team there. And it's pretty simple. Ikwicho. Do you guys know what that is? Ikwicho. Ikwicho's music, man. The music that you'll hear soccer players singing whenever they're about to come out. You'll hear the fans singing sometimes. You'll hear, people in general just going on. I want you to sing a motivational Ikwicho. Let me give you an example. Banyana, before they went out to play their first game over the weekend, right? They did it. They got in there led by Andile, the goalkeeper. Have a listen to this. I wasn't supposed to play it that long, but it was just so nice. It was going in. The voice that's leading there is Andile, the goalkeeper, Banyana. This was them in a beautiful Olay suits. They're out in the dressing room getting ready for their first match. And that's what they were singing. I want the same from you. Send it to us. And then we're going to pick the best and we're going to announce who it is that's won. And I'll give you exactly the details of that giveaway. But also there's some tickets to give away and hampers as well that we're going to be giving away. Now, that's not all, though. There's a little bit more. So I'll let you know about that. WhatsApp your song of motivation to 060-552-7303. Hampers, tickets, and something else that I'm going to be giving away courtesy of Telkom there. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Do remember, speaking of Banyana, that go Banyana. We are proud of you. Go live the impossible in Australia and New Zealand. We are behind you all the way, South Africa. Our support gives Banyana energy. Simply share your message to the team via WhatsApp on 072-603-7325 or USSD by dialing *120*676# and you'll be entered into a daily draw to win airtime and data. T's and C's apply. Visit www.cecil.com for more information. The ruling has come in. Royal AM have been sent a letter from the Court of the Arbitration of Sport. It's 19 after the hour 6. He's a friend of the room. Leruma Thobejane, Royal AM lawyer, now joins us on the line. Leruma, thank you so much for always making time for us. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Andile, and good evening to your listeners.
The letter came in. I think it's dated 25th of July 2023. The response and reply that you've been waiting for.
Andile, before I go into the letter, I just want to rectify something that Mazola told me.
Please do.
Let me say this. Once we received the letter dated the 11th of July 2023, in terms of which CAS states categorically that an appeal against the decision imposed by FIFA on Royal AM, once accepted by CAS, suspends the implementation of that award. That automatically, and I still repeat that, suspends even the ban itself. I'll go to this letter now so that you see the difference between what transpired on the 11th and what transpired yesterday.
Okay, cool. Let me just wrap my head around this, Leruma. You do know you're a lot more fluent in legalities than what I am, so I need to hear it like a 5-year-old. So basically, what you're saying is the letter that was sent by you, I think it was on the 10th of July, 2023, right? And then gotten a response the next day on the 11th. You're saying that response from CAS has, as far as the signing and the ruling from FIFA, has put that on hold. That still stands. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
In a nutshell, let me say this: there's a difference between the ban that has not been uplifted by CAS in terms of the letter that was received yesterday, and the ban that was automatically uplifted in terms of the admission by CAS of Royal AM's appeal, as in terms of the letter by CAS dated the 11th of July. The difference is the following. I want people to follow me.
Please.
When CAS was informed in that letter, when FIFA was informed in that letter of the 11th that this appeal suspends the implementation of any award or decision of a financial nature.
And sorry, I'm going to stop you along the way because I want to try and follow in Leruma. Please bear with me. This letter to FIFA comes from CAS directly, because you're saying when FIFA received the letter, they would have received this letter from CAS.
Yeah, we all received the letter from CAS.
Okay.
In simple terms, what happened is the following. Upon receipt of Royal AM's appeals, once CAS decides that it will institute appeal proceedings in favor of Royal AM in this matter, a decision of financial nature is automatically suspended until the appeal is finalized. And let me explain why I say the ban was automatically suspended as well. Because in the award for the payment of a sum of money that was issued by FIFA, the sanction of a transfer ban is incorporated in that decision in the event of failure to comply with the financial order within 45 days, unless you appeal timeously to CAS. In this instance, there's a dispute as to whether our request was in time to suspend the implementation of that financial award, which may not result in a ban being imposed as a result of the alleged failure by Royal AM to pay. Once the appeal is admitted by CAS as we speak, that implementation of that decision to pay money, which goes with a sanction for failure to pay, is automatically suspended. You cannot say Royal AM must pay 12 million now. And if you cannot say Royal AM must pay 12 million now, the ban which is incorporated in that order of the 27th, which says if you fail to pay within 45 days, then this transfer ban is imposed as a sequel to your failure to pay. That is one decision. Now, let's go to this decision of yesterday.
I want to go to that one. Let me pause there. Yes. And I might be asking, like I said, I don't speak legalities as well as what you do. I want to ask something that just the mind has pondered. If you're saying to me that at this juncture, at this point, because we're dealing now with whether Royal AM can sign players and whether what FIFA has stipulated before is paused or not. If Royal AM are able to sign players right now, Leruma, and they go ahead and they sign a player, right?
And let me tell you why we are not able to sign players. And the reason why we are not able to sign players is not because we have failed to pay 12 million, then there's a ban that is imposed.
Okay.
Because according to FIFA itself, it gave reasons to CAS on the 21st of July. After we have realized that FIFA is not complying with that decision issued by CAS on the 11th of July, which says this appeal automatically suspends the implementation of that decision of a financial nature, in terms of which a transfer ban was imposed as a result of failure to pay. Now, we had to proceed with our application now to say we want this provisional measure, which is the upliftment of the ban. But before doing that, FIFA deliberately did this. Wrote a letter to CAS to say, we believe that there's a further decision, the decision to impose a transfer ban. We as FIFA, we regard it as a separate decision imposed on Royal AM. It has nothing to do with the failure to pay. You must remember now.
So
we saying that, I'll come to that.
Okay.
Then they requested clarity from us as to whether we are appealing three decisions. The decision rendered on the in terms of a letter dated the 27th of April, which says we must pay money within 45 days. If we fail, will be banned. But if we appeal timelessly, the ban and the payment will not be implemented. Now, the second one was that we appealed the decision of the 21st of June, where FIFA rendered that decision final, despite the fact that they have refused to give us the grounds for that decision. So once that decision became final, then we are able to appeal it to CAS in terms of Article 57 of the FIFA statutes, because only final decisions can be appealable to CAS.
Okay.
Because the final decision is a decision with grounds.
Yeah.
Now, FIFA is now saying, no. The transfer ban is a separate sanction. It has nothing to do with Royal AM's failure to do what?
To make the payment. So has that now, FIFA coming out and saying this is a separate issue, has this happened post our last conversation? Because in our last conversation...
Yes.
Okay, because that's what's important. Yes, that's what's important. In our last conversation...
Post our last conversation.
We would agree that you can sign players. So are you saying post our last conversation, FIFA then came in and said, no. The appeal of what you are appealing with CAS is different to this matter, and therefore it is separate of this matter. The ban still stands.
And we know why they're doing that. We know why they're doing that.
But am I correct in my assumption that it therefore means that the ban still stands regardless of the receipt of your letter to CAS rather? Your ban still stands.
Our ban stands not because in terms of the law, an appeal against a decision of a financial nature suspends that implementation of that decision. It stands because FIFA now says to CAS, this decision has nothing to do with the failure to pay 12 million. And we know the reason for that.
What is the reason for that?
The reason for that is that FIFA deliberately did not want to have the ban uplifted. And secondly, that can only be done to assist Ncube, because both Ncube and FIFA were requested to give reasons why the ban should not be uplifted. Ncube did not file an answer to our request, because had they filed an answer, they would have said something to the line of saying the ban should remain in place because we refusing to pay him 12,000 rand. Then the ban would have been linked to the financial decision.
Why would FIFA have a personal interest in going after Royal AM in particular, to go out of their way to even step off the books in order to make sure that Ncube gets this money and that Royal AM are disadvantaged?
Now, let me ask you, why will FIFA say they've sent me a document in March and I failed to respond to it when they know they have not sent it to me? When I question that, then they send it to me. Why will they do that? Why will they again say they've sent a decision to me? This is the second time that is happening. That question should be asked to FIFA. Why did you allege, firstly, that you have sent a document to Leruma Thobejane on behalf of Royal AM, and that Leruma has failed to answer on behalf of Royal AM when you knew that you have not sent that document? And when he questioned that and he confronted you, you sent him the document. That question should go to FIFA. Not to me.
So you do believe, though, you do believe that they've got it in for not you maybe, but maybe for the institution, you and Royal AM, or they are deliberately in favor of a Ncube. Do you truly believe that?
No. Let me tell you this. I don't believe that they are in favor of anyone. I just believe that they believe that they are right at all costs. You cannot be right at all costs. You cannot be correct at all costs. You cannot accuse people of failing to do things when you have not done them yourself. I've been accused of failing to answer to certain documents when those documents were sent to me. And when I queried it, then they were sent to me to answer. And I duly answered. This is not happening for the first time. It's happening for the second time. From FIFA, in the same matter. This is not a coincidence to me. So if you want to be correct at all times, then you'll do everything to protect your own image. And I'm not surprised, because I can tell you now, technically, if our appeal is found to be tenuous, there's only one thing that should happen. You can never have a decision in the whole world that does not have reasons why they arrived at that decision. It has to be set aside.
If you're just joining us. Sorry, Leruma, I didn't mean to interject. Go for it.
No. The only way that FIFA and Ncube can push this case to be won by Ncube and FIFA is when they can convince CAS that we have received the award tenuously and we have failed to file the request for grounds of the decision tenuously. But I can tell you from my side, I had documentary proof. I've shared that with some media houses, and I'm prepared to share it with you. And my client, Royal AM, was represented by me. And in terms of their own rules, a decision of such nature must be notified through the legal representative of a club or through the association, which is SAFA. Who else would have received that document? But I'm not surprised, because it was not happening for the first time. It happened before, when people accused me of failing to respond to documents which were never sent to me. And if you look at the letter of the 21st of June, people deny something that came from CAS. If you deny that the email comes from CAS, from FIFA, what must I do?
It's Sports Are Amplified with Andile in the Mighty Metro FM. We're speaking to Royal AM lawyer Leruma Thobejane, of course, on the matter of Royal AM versus Samir Ncube, a player that FIFA has said that Royal AM should pay 12 million rands to or face a ban that still stands from this point on. That we can clarify that since the last time we spoke to Leruma. Therefore, Leruma, does this mean, and based on what you are saying to me, I can then surmise that you were correct in your translation of the letter that CAS had sent. FIFA therefore realized that and then went back to CAS to say, no, you guys have stopped the transfer ban. We want it back on. And that's the conversation that's happened in the weeks since then, correct?
Correct. And they stated in their own letter. And they did this via a letter that you received as well. Yes, they stated in their own letter to CAS to say, we want clarity as to which decision is being appealed here. Is it the decision of the 27th of April? Is it the decision of the 21st of June? Is it the decision of the 3rd of July? What decision were you appealing then, if I may ask? In the letter from CAS. No, when you had written to CAS, what decision were you appealing? We appealing the decision the 27th of April, which is the decision to say we must pay a sum of money, failing which we will be banned from registering players. And the second decision we are appealing is the decision of the 21st of June that renders the decision of the 27th without grounds final. So you cannot render a decision without grounds final in terms of the FIFA rules, because a decision without grounds is not a final decision unless you decide that this is the final decision. Then I can appeal. Then the ban is already in the decision of the 27th of April, because it says if you fail to pay, you'll be banned from registering the player.
So then, if that's the case, then I would have expected that inclusive in CAS's response to FIFA would have been these things are hand in glove. They go right with each other. Why did then CAS allow FIFA to continue with the ban if that is the case?
Let me tell you, that the CAS letter of the 11th of July clearly states what Royal AM is appealing. The decision of the 27th of April and the decision of the 11th of the 21st of June.
And that first decision, the April decision, says that, it goes hand in hand. It says that you are implemented to pay the money or face the ban. So therefore, if you can prove that you aren't ready to pay the money yet because you're still fighting this, because you had not received the letter from FIFA in time, therefore the second part of it cannot be implemented. So if that is the case, why would the two be separate, and why would the one be allowed to be separate from the other?
And that's a good question. But remember, at CAS, as we speak now, this decision is not taken by the arbitration panel. It's just taken by the president, because in his own letter he's saying that he's not taking this decision in order to decide on the admissibility of our appeal and other issues, because this is just an interim provisional measure. So it's an agent measure. This whole appeal is going to a panel of arbitrators, independent arbitrators. We have already appointed our own, nominated our own arbitrator. They will nominate their own arbitrator. Then those arbitrators will have to decide. Remember, the harm that will be suffered by Royal AM if indeed it's found that the conduct of FIFA, by alleging that the ban is something that is a separate decision from the failure to pay financial orders, it will be serious as well. The harm to Royal Aim will be serious. Then we will be entitled to recoup the damages that we might have suffered as a result of this ban.
Okay, let's park that one a little bit. Let's go to the order now that you've received from the Deputy President of CAS and the Appeals Arbitration Division, which sent you some rules on the 25th of July 2023. What is that about?
That is about the provisional measure to suspend the ban. Remember, if in my own view I'm not appealing a separate transfer ban, and FIFA is saying this is a separate transfer ban imposed on Royal AM not because they failed to pay money, and they must state that they are appealing this decision, and secondly, they must state why this decision, if not suspended, they will suffer irreparable harm, and what are the prospects of them overturning this separate decision. I cannot fall into that trap of saying I accept that as a separate decision. I'm not going to fall into that. Because if I fall into that, what's going to happen is that if we win our appeal in relation to the payment of money, then we'll be accepting that there's another decision that will stand, the transfer ban, which stands alone. I don't accept that.
Leruma, and Leruma, I'm 100% aware of your fighting spirit, the club led, of course, by the president's fighting spirit on something such as this. The league starts in, if my maths is right, in 8 days.
Yes.
And everything so far, if it's not FIFA working against you in this matter, it's CAS coming back with rulings like the one that we've just gotten now. I'm going to ask this again. I asked it last week. I'm going to ask it to you again. Is it not easier at this point to pay Ncube and go on with the league, with your lives, and move forward outside of this matter?
I'm going to repeat what I said, Andile. Royal AM and Ncube signed a contract. The terms of that contract bind both parties. And if Ncube believes that he can stay at home, not lift a finger, but expect to be paid at the end of the month,
play one friendly match.
Well, you see, the friendly match that he played, the facts are as follows, Andile. He only arrived for the first time around the 12th or 13th of September, when his contract started on the 1st of July.
No, I don't disagree with the match. I'm just saying, it's going to be the most expensive match ever played because that friendly match is now worth 12 million. Played one friendly match and the man, it's 12 million. And I hear you. You're fighting to say no.
But we've paid him. You see, the problem is the following, Andile. That contract that he has signed, we need to put it to the test. Whether we are right to say the terms of this contract are binding on both parties or whether they're only binding on Royal AM alone. That contract says, and we said it's not drafted by us, it says this contract is subject to
the standard PSL contract that you spoke of.
Yeah, it says it's subject to the Employment Act, which is Basic Conditions of Employment Act, and it's very clear. We did not dismiss this gentleman because he was ill or he was injured. We're saying in terms of this act, if you are on sick leave, when you return, you must produce proof that you are booked off for this whole 3 months. But remember, sick leave, you don't get paid for being sick if you don't have sick leave days, which you must accumulate by working first. If you are on leave, we cannot dismiss you because you are entitled to be on unpaid leave, because the only way that you can get paid leave is if you have ended by working first. So in this case, people are saying, Royal AM, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, as long as they are written there on that contract, they don't mean that. They mean something else. Nokovic can stay at home for 3 months, come to Royal AM, get paid for 3 months.
So
it doesn't work that way.
The league starts in 8 days. Royal AM can't sign players to bulk up their squad. They've lost some key players as well this season. This does not look like something that will be sorted in the next 8 days, Leruma. Hold on. I want to take a quick break. When I come back, I'd love to know what you guys sitting together have proposed as a way forward and how long you're willing to go with this up until a point where you realize, or up until a point where you need to get more players or you need to get to its finality. This is Sports That Amplified with Andile. I am Andile Ncube, speaking to the friend of the room, of course, Leruma Thobejane. Both are Mason and Thobejane attorneys, and now, of course, a Royal AM lawyer. Leruma, I asked you a question before we took a break, and it's my last one on this matter. The league resumes in about 8 days. Royal AM have ambitions. They need to bulk up their squad. They need to, to be competitive in the league. They can't sign players at the moment. Even the ones that they've earmarked and given personal contracts to, they can't register with the PSL. How long, in your conversations, do you think this outcome is going to be awaited for? And what are the measures that you've put in place in case it drags longer than what you've anticipated?
Andile, to be honest with you, we requested an expedited process, meaning the process should not take longer than the end of August. If CAS agrees to that, because we sent it to CAS already, if it agrees to that, we should have a decision before the end of August. So that will assist us in signing players and registering players. But there's one thing that I want to caution against.
Go for it.
The willingness to accept decisions, even if they're not in your favor, and to be honest and respect the rule of law, is what jurists should always aspire to do. I take offense to FIFA stance that they now realize that the ban had to be uplifted. Then they come with an accusation, an allegation that this ban has nothing to do with our failure to pay a sum of money as ordered by FIFA. That shows that they themselves do not abide by the rule of law. They do not respect decisions. And in their own statute, it says decisions of their own independent legal bodies must always be respected. So how do you expect others to respect your decisions if you don't respect those decisions yourself? The reason why we are here is because now somebody feels that, no, we can't be defeated by this ruling from CAS that says our decision to order Royal AM to pay a sum of money must be suspended, which means the ban must be suspended. We have to come with something. to close the gap. This ban has nothing to do with the failure to payment. But then what does that have to do with? When were we called before a disciplinary committee and afforded an opportunity to be heard before such a decision was taken? That cannot be true. Spiteful, but we know you can't win at all costs, but you can't always win.
Leruma, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on and always making time to be with us. Pass our love to the team. It's hierarchy, of course, and we'll speak to them soon as we look forward to the new season.
Thank you very much, Andile.
There it is. It's Leruma Thobejane there speaking to us, of course, on... and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are starting to feel like lawyers now, yeah? I certainly am. It's a lot of law talk, a lot of... what do you make of that? Taking your voice notes and your calls just now. I'm getting a lot of your songs. Ikwicho is running things. We're getting so many of your songs. We're going to be listening to them all day, of course. Choosing some nice ones, sending them out to our friends at Telkom. They're going to be listening, and somebody is going to be winning big. Let's take a quick break.
Yo, we gon' get them. Get connected. WhatsApp the Metro FM studio. 060 552 7303.
Andile angibingelele makoso kanyandeni lokhulumayo kwanongoma kwabomba angiyayizwa nje inangizane iloya Royal M we still namanje nje saqhubeka nje nokufuna ukuthi ngoba amaloya wafuna ukuthi ayehluleka bona nje abenza into efanelekile ukuthi benze lokhu kuze bekwazi ukusiza iclub yasekhaya eRoyal M ukuthi iye phambili ayeke lokhu nje ebhize phenya amafayile angekho akungeke nje abe against iFIFA isinqumo esikhiphile yena nje selokhu esebenzisa ubuloya uzoqeda imali kaMamkhize la hayi bayengabheka umsebenzi uzomphela lapha kuMamkhize angibonge makhosi kanyandeni lokho ma
Andile, this is Vuyo in Rosebank. Yeah, hey. This guy is gonna chow Mamkhize's money, ne?
How?
This guy will continue to chow Mamkhize's money until she wakes up, because this guy is never gonna admit that they have failed, they have lost, and they should just pay the player. He's never gonna do that. You know, he's a lawyer. That's what lawyers do. You know, he's gonna drag this thing for as long as possible so that he can make as much money as possible. What he's saying does not even make sense. I'm not a legal expert, but
you and
as
I
far
both.
as I understand this thing, Royal AM just needs to pay the money, or else they will not be able to sign players. He must just stop trying to explain things and dragging and prolonging it, trying to confuse us. Let's confuse us. Confuse us, please.
Hi, Andile. Tapero here. Listen, I think Leruma and Royal AM, they really have got this thing all wrong. You know, whether they are right or wrong, I think they're taking this thing academically. And I think with FIFA, whether they are right or wrong, it seems that they don't necessarily want to hear these guys. I mean, we've got a case with Ajax where they had their case, their ducks in a row, but they still lost their status because of this whole thing of FIFA or whatever. So at this point, they should just pay the guy, forget it, because whether they are right or wrong, it looks like FIFA is, you know, it's determined to make sure that the player will get the money.
That's exactly what Leruma was saying.
For Royal AM, what they should be doing, stop this litigation, pay the man, forget about it, whether FIFA is right or wrong, because at the end of the day, these guys, they're going to lose out on signing players, and then they're going to lose out on their status.
No, I hear you.
Mr. Andile. Yazindoni. This is Mziwe Ngosi from Springfontein. This lawyer from Royal AM is on an ego trip. Because it seems like he does not understand the laws of the game. If I would advise Mamkhize, I would advise her to pay Nukovic and end all this drama, because now this is going to cost them. Next season, they will be in trouble if they don't sign now.
Right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But like I said, guys, you know, there's going to be a lot of law experts when, you know, we aren't. Leruma has been at this for a very long time. So I don't know. Until he's lost out, I can't, for one. I mean, I can ask the questions and understanding. Let's go to David out of Guruleni. David.
Thank you, Ma, for taking my call. You know, I've been following this case of
and that's why I want to get it, because I know you guys are in it now, so we must get it to fruition.
Yeah, I think, you know what, from the onset, the picture I had from Royal AM is that the player is alleged he was not injured, but he didn't, and the player is not disputing that he did not report for camp. He did not report where he was supposed to. The player was on AWOL. If you're on AWOL, the employer can terminate your service. And then the second part, what makes this case very suspicious? Why did FIFA amend the statement to CAS? That on itself is bringing up a picture whereby it's true that FIFA is being run by the money launderers, the people who want to flash money and not be accountable to the laws of the land of the country. If you check the countries that are being banned by FIFA, if you check the regions, most of them it's very petty.
Zimbabwe, Kenya, etc.
It's flimsy. And the last point I want to bring.
Very quickly.
I'm not being racist. I believe FIFA is just like United Nations. By the mere speculation of the color of your skin, you have an advantage each and every time you.
So you've got a black Royal AM fighting a European white Ncube. You think it goes down to that?
He is protected. That one I won't even doubt.
David, I gotta go. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for bringing up something different there. Let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy. You got to be so every day, Joe. Let's go to Peter in Brits. Spongaleni, I'm going to come to you just after. I'd like to go to, okay, is that Spongaleni? Okay, it's fine. Spongaleni is there. Spongaleni? Hey, no, ngumkamane. Uthini wena?
Hayi ngivukile nami namhlanje ma. Hayi, uyabona ma, it's a very difficult situation. Really, and what worries me a lot is that iwindi lizogcina selivaliwe without them getting the players that they want to sign. And if they win the case, they won't get that opportunity to sign the players while the window is already closed. So I think it's a tricky situation, but it's very difficult for umama Mkhize ukuthi avela khokha imali njengoba besho umfowethu ukuthi Royal AM were supposed to just pay Ncube and then continue with signing players. It's not be like that, Mr. Maa. Kufanele balinde, because they might win the case, they might lose it too. So it's a 50-50 situation. Let's wait and see, but it's very difficult.
Usemathafeni ke yena uSibongeleni. Thank you so much. Arego Brits. Peter.
Hello, how good?
Very quickly, Peter.
Subnet. I don't think these people they're going to, even if they appeal, because even how about reducing by fair, even if they appeal, they won't win. So the advice is they must just say that Ncube is that man.
12 million for gaming and one.
No, the issue here is the termination of the contract and all that stuff,
Maradima not let's say game one.
Yeah, it does not matter.
Yo, Peter.
Remember, Hore, how are so? At the end of the day, they're looking at it. Even in a normal court, Papa gave us 10 years and they're going to appeal. So you always lose.
But you take it to the high court, then you take it to the constitutional court, then you must fail at the highest court, Peter. But I hear you.
It's not for free.
Yo, Peter out in Brits, I hear you. Let's go to Jimmy. Finally, we're able to get a hold of him. I'll reckon network go my man.
I'm going to let you
well, no ring boss.
Andile. Mamkiza pate dimano. Wete ke na bara urle mazola utonate mazola nga tablet ko shele na butisa butisa.
Mazola ngwala ka stories so mazola ha me annekwa a tse di question from nna di ngwale fat.
I know what you are.
Oh, Jimmy Macau, I appreciate you so much. Gonna give Mazola a big head now. Faith is coming in. I was hoping she's gonna be in the studio already. Where's Faith? Faith. There she is. There she is. She's making her way here, but she struts. She doesn't walk, she floats. She glides and she strides. So it takes a second to get her into the studio because I want you to listen to this song with me. Very quickly here so we can judge Ikuicho. So people have been sending in their songs. Come alongside with us here at Metro FM and Sports Amplified. We've said, hey, we'll give you a little prezi. We'll give you some hampers. We'll give you something special and extra. All you have to do is send us songs in the form of spirit songs. We used to call them spirit when we cheer our team on. This time for the Netball Pro Teams. I'm going to play just one today. Can you hear it? Are you going to be able to hear this?
Let me hear.
Okay. Please put on your headphones.
Oh, baby, nyasfela ngawe. Zabarabaraba simbarimba. Kiyazi ukuthi baby uyangithanda. Oh,
I love it.
My baby nyasfela ngawe. Zabarabaraba simbaramba. Oh, baby, suyenza lento. Whoa, my baby nyasfela.
Do we have a winner already? Oh, what guys?
Sabarabaraba sebaraba. Hi, ma Snintlanhla lono.
Snintlanhla, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Can you beat Snintlanhla to the big prize? Please send us your favorites there. The clicking was not Snintlanhla. The ones that were off key. That was me. I have absolutely no rhythm or both in my body.
Nothing?
No, nothing.
Wow.
Absolutely nothing. So the off key clickings there. That's why I stopped.
We should totally have a dance off then.
You can't dance?
I mean, I do my best.
You do look like you white girl dance.
What do you mean I white girl dance?
Of course you can't twerk.
What do you mean, of course I can't? Hold on a second.